The thing that started it is just funny. And that's why it's like, it's kind of like a two-part thing, right? Where it's not just why aren't people playing KOF, right? Because at that point you can make a really, really long video. I think the funnier thing is, why do people always say, look, it's right here, look. Why do people always say to play this game? Let's get straight to it. All right, welcome to another, I guess, topic of the day. Again, I still don't even know what to call it. You guys can figure this out. We'll agree on something one day, right? But for right now, it's just Chris G's topic of the day. The reason that King of Fighters is the topic of the day is because one comment somebody made, and for the most part, I'm gonna say it's a random person, right? At Davon _P. I don't know. I've seen him around, but mainly I just seen him type a lot, right? So he wrote, one day King of Fighters fans will realize we don't want to play King of Fighters. I assume by we, he means people who aren't playing King of Fighters. Every season or so, there's a tweet going around about its lack of appeal when the writing is on the wall. SNK just don't got it. King of Fighters is like the local rapper that's been trying to get a major deal for 2 decades, right? There's a bunch of comments actually for and against it. Now, this is the weird thing about something like this. Usually, you kind of just roast someone that writes something like that, right? When you think about it, you're like, damn, someone's ragging on a game. Not necessarily the mechanics or how the game is, or so on and so forth, right? But he's just making fun of the actual like name itself. For some reason, there are a bunch of people for and against it, right? If you look at the quote tweets, yeah, look at that. Oh, haha, yeah, jokes. Yeah, let people enjoy this. So the question I ask you right before I give my own opinion, is he wrong? People just aren't playing the game, but yet everyone wants you to play the game. Now, when you think about it, the only other tab I have open, boom, is this right here, right? All these characters, all these amazing characters that we all love, hate. I just Googled KOF characters. This is what popped up, right? There's a lot of goddamn characters. This game's been going on since I've been born. They've come up with a bajillion characters over the years, right? Everyone knows Kyo, Iori, Benimaru, Terry, right? All the characters from King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, so on and so forth, right? Why aren't people playing King of Fighters? It's very simple, but again, right before we go into that, let me give you some history on my King of Fighters, I guess, lore. I tried playing King of Fighters. Mind you, growing up, all you did was mash, so it doesn't count, right? Anytime people say, I remember being in the arcades playing King of Fighters, I don't care, right? Because no one cares about that story. All you did was mash. We all mashed. Okay, so seriously, I tried to play King of Fighters when I started going into to the arcade. Let me tell you my first actual experience with the game. Me and my friend, we tried to play King of Fighters, I think it was 98, right? King of Fighters 98, this was about 2008, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? I've been learning Third Strike. I've been learning CVS 2. I've been learning Marvel 2. Let's play some King of Fighters, right? I remember playing this game. I want to play Kyo, Iori, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens, right? So I go with my friend. We walk up to the Mexican players. I'm not going to mention who it was. And I've mentioned this story a few times. Me and my friend tried to play the game and he pulled a knife on us. I think it was because my friend started to beat him or something of the sort. The first thing that this Mexican player did, mind you, he goes to tournaments. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say this person's name because again, you know, things have changed. You know, people have gotten better. Obviously, he doesn't remember me. I've had conversations with this guy, you know, shortly, right? Because he doesn't really speak English the best. Yeah, so he pulled a knife on us pretty much in the same breath, told us not to play the game, right? His game, the Mexicans game, the Chinese game, don't touch it or else there's gonna be problems. So mind you, this was my first interaction with the quote unquote pro KOF scene. So just off jump, right? Just off jump. Like even without further talking about this conversation, would it be fair to say and I hope nobody ever touches this game again? It would be fair if I was to say something like that, right? Fast forward a little bit. King of Fighters 12 had just come out, and I was like, oh man, this is a beautiful game. This is a beautiful looking game. I tried playing it and realized it was the worst game of all time, right? So right then and there, my first 2 interactions with King of Fighters, seriously, was awful. King of Fighters 13 release. Initial release date, July 14th, 2010. So July 14th, 2010, right? During this instance, I'm playing a bunch of games. I'm getting better at a bunch of games. I decide, you know what? I have never been good at King of Fighters. It's one of the only series that I haven't touched seriously. I started learning the game. I started getting pretty good at the game. Even without still knowing how to play the game, I started becoming really good at the game, to the point where almost every tournament I made top 3. There was even times I've gotten into grand finals with Bala himself. Obviously, he made an example out of me. You know, I played Xiao Hai, he made an example out of me. Played Reynolds, he made an example out of me. So on and so forth. I wasn't that good, but I really enjoyed the game. You want to know what my 3rd interaction with this game was? Do not play the game. You suck. This is our game. Go back to Capcom. Go back to this, right? The Juice Box incident. This is our game or my game or whatever when speaking to me and Justin Wong. So on and so forth. Every single time I played the game, they always booed me. They always cheered for the other person, while again, all I wanted to do was learn the game and try to be part of another community. Again, this happened for years. Every single time I touched the game, if I won, not one person would clap. The commentary was super biased, so on and so forth. All of the time. If you got a character off of me, they would clap and praise and all sorts of stuff. It came to the point, it came to the times where I would have to clap for myself. If you have ever seen me play King of Fighters, and if you've ever been there when I have played in a tournament, you would see me sometimes win or beat someone super free and clap. Damn, that Chris G guy, he's so good. This happened almost every single tournament. If we are being completely honest, I have never had a good experience with King of Fighters or the community. Let that sink in for a bit. Obviously the East Coast people, you know, like Nerd Josh, right, Master CJ, Yurikov, we used to just play the game. It was cool, you know, like win or lose, right? We talk trash or whatever. Those are really like the only people I was cordial with. Now, the only person I became cool with, like strictly from the King of Fighters scene, was Romance. He was the only person who actually tried to help me. He was the only person that understood what I was talking about, and you know, he tried to help me win when other people didn't. So of course, Romance, you are the best. You know, AGE days, even when I was Grilla, funny enough, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Romance was that guy and is still that guy. You know, he still hits me up every now and then about King of Fighters and whatnot, still wanting me to play the game because he thinks that I am actually one of the best players in the world. I just don't play the game. Even now, right, 2023, there was a guy who came in, his name was Johnny from the King of Fighters scene. He would tell me that the rest of the players would talk crap about me and they wouldn't respect my skill, and that when he would lose to me, they would be like, I don't understand why you would lose to Chris G. And he was telling me that he was explaining that Chris G, me, right, is a really good player, and that, you know, like to not sleep on me. Even today, right? 2024, right? I guess, you know, again, it's only been 17 days, right? So mainly 2023, when I was playing King of Fighters at HyperX, I'm being told that people still trash talk me, right? In the King of Fighters community. With that said, so we're talking from King of Fighters 13 release date, July 14, 2010 to January 17th, 2024, I am being trash talked for literally just trying to play the game. And that's me. I can just imagine how many other people have had these experiences and whatnot. Even with all that said, I am not going to be biased at all. Why? Because there's no point in being biased. What does that get me? Just makes me look like a bitter old person. I'm speaking facts as of right now, even though the first 20 experiences that I had with King of Fighters has been all awful. Yet I still play and I praise the game. So again, why don't people play King of Fighters? This number, right? So I'm looking at it right now. It says King of Fighters 15, which means there's been 15 games. Scratch that. How many games has been 25? I don't even know how many games it's been, right? SNK's been around for God knows how long. And there's been, between King of Fighters and Fatal Fury and Garou and all these other games, there's been about 25 of these games. You would think, right? Just like a household name, King of Fighters is compared to Mortal Kombat, you know, Street Fighter, so on and so forth. Why are people playing the game? The first reason, SNK. Ever since I've known, every game that they come out with, for the most part, is the same game, right? Legacy game, just like Tekken. When it comes to Street Fighter, you're gonna play a new game every Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 was different from Street Fighter 3, was different from Street Fighter 4, was different from 5, and now 6. There's different moves, there's different mechanics, so on and so forth, right? But for the most part, the two games that have been mostly the same is King of Fighters and Tekken. If you're thinking, well, since the game is the same, why aren't people playing the game? Again, number one reason, SNK. Since 13 came out, right? And again, the introduction to the online world, playing games online, netcode, and so on and so forth, it's been awful, absolutely awful. If we're moving into the future, one of the first things that you have to do is make the game playable for being at home. COVID has happened. COVID 2020, that was a thing. Yet, we still couldn't play any SNK games online, right? While we're playing Tekken, while we're playing, I mean, regardless of how whatever Tekken was at first, you know, we're still playing these games online. King of Fighters, nothing. For the most part, I'm pretty sure there was no tours, right? So, no money. You go to a tournament, regardless of how many people entered, there's no money to be made. SNK doesn't really put in pop bonuses. Not to mention the fact that the few tournaments where they gave out prizes, it's been t-shirts. How disrespectful, and it sounds funny that I'm using the word disrespectful, but how disrespectful is it that their prize that they give you is a 3XL t-shirt? They don't even have regular larges to give you. So even if you wanted to be like, oh man, yo, thank you so much, SNK, blah, 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 for the prizes and so on and so forth. What? Another thing that they give you, which is always really weird, they give you folders. Yes, you heard that right, folders. They give you 3XL t-shirts and folders. Now that we know that SNK has kind of been bad, like in general, when it comes to everything that they've done with the scene, and yet the people praise them, and I don't really get it, right? Secondly, this kind of still ties into the first thing. The games are ugly. Going from 13, one of the most beautiful games of all time. Maybe the game would have been better if, again, they had better netcode. At this point, I don't even know if it was playable. I don't even know if you could play online. But going from 13 on, the games are absolutely ugly. For people who are playing all these new games, right? All the new games, this includes first-person games, adventure games, RPG games, all these games that are looking more and more beautiful as time has gone on. King of Fighters has actually degressed. The rest of the world is moving on. King of Fighters is the only game, for some reason, that we're just not. And we're talking about, you have to compare it, right, visually to DBFZ, Street Fighter 5 and 6, Tekken 6, 7, and 8. The list goes on. Even Skullgirls, and that game came out forever ago. Mortal Kombat, right, MKX, 11, and now 1. You have to deal with this, right? The looks. When you think about looks in itself, right, you're like, that's not the most important thing, right? Just like how you think about relationships. looks aren't the most important thing. It's all about the content and the personality and gameplay, all this and so on and so forth, right? Let's be real. What was a big factor in why MVCI failed? I rest my case, right? Let's flip it over, right? People go, oh, well, you should play King of Fighters because of the gameplay. It's amazing. Okay, I'll give you that. I really like King of Fighters. I think King of Fighters as a whole is one of the greatest games of all time, gameplay-wise. But the interesting thing about that, and it ties into people saying everyone should play King of Fighters. Why is there no one online? Why is there no one playing ever? Why is there no one going to tournaments? Why is there no one supporting their scenes? So if I ask you, King of Fighters supporter, King of Fighters defender, if you will, why is that? Why aren't you, the guy who loves King of Fighters so much, supporting the game? They like to say, right? They like to say, oh, this game doesn't have comeback factors. This game, there's no drive rush, there's no drive impact, there's no raging strike, there's no wild assault, there's no this, there's no that, it's neutral, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, all these different things. Why aren't you playing the game? KOF fan base, okay, this is a good thing, right? And I'm gonna talk about this exact thing. KOF fan base is split. Those who got stuck in the past classic titles and those who play the newest games. Why are we, excuse me, let me take water. Why are you not playing the newer games? You like to say, oh, yeah, there's so many King of Fighters games, pick one. Let's say, for the sake of arguments, right? For the sake of arguments, there was 100,000 people right now, playing the King of Fighters and all SNK branched out games. So there are 100,000 people right now playing SNK games. And you tell me, right, instead of all supporting the newer games as they come out, so that SNK has the money, or SNK, you know, gets the support, or so on and so forth, right? Because you, as a consumer, have the ability to show your favorite publisher, your favorite developer, your favorite so on and so forth, that you support what they're doing, and you can't wait for more of their games to come out. Me? Yes, you. Yes, Sata Gorilla, you too. Everyone is all in it together. But you tell me, oh, every game sucks. Play 98. Every game sucks. Play 2001. Every game sucks. Play whatever the hell, 96, 97, 74, freaking 2002. Got some screw. Because if I play the newest ones, I'm no longer the best at that one. Let me give you a little, some knowledge real quick on that exact quote. People like to play games that they are good at. That's it. You know how many people I made quit King of Fighters 15 because I'm winning? I'll let you know. It's more than one. Again, why aren't people playing the game? SNK and its player base doesn't actually, they don't actually care. They go on Twitter and they tell you to play the game that they're not playing. They're not telling you to play King of Fighters 15. They're telling you to play 1 out of 35 different games. Don't tell people to play something you're not playing yourself. It goes back to people saying to play the game. I love watching all King of Fighters. I love every time it pops up. Every time it pops up, I watch it. It goes on my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff. I watch it every single time, no matter who's playing. I see a clip of something cool, I watch it, I support it. But guess what? That's about 13 different games. So the game is dying. Well, excuse me, dead. I'm going to use the word dead. Let me explain why. I tried to play the game. I could not find one person in 5 minutes. Not to mention matchmaking. Going back to SNK. Do you, at some point you have to ask them, do you not want people to play your game? Do you not want people? Because I'm trying to play it. I truly am. I promise you. Cross my heart and hope to die. I am trying to play your game. Same way I tried to play Samurai Showdown. Same way I tried to play freaking KOF 14 and 13. This is why I said this isn't gonna be that long of a discussion, because it's very obvious. Look. Let's go back to the quote tweets. Peep my Sylvie Rushdown. Meanwhile, join our Discord. Who is we? Stop spreading misinformation. Now, the one thing I will say, right, because he says, we don't want to play King of Fighters. Remember when I was playing King of Fighters 15 and I kept saying, this is as good, as solid, as like footsie based you want to say the game is? It's all a farce. All of it is a farce. Do not believe that. The same way people complain about all these neutral skipping tools, Jump CD exists. Jump CD was one of the first, if not the first, neutral skipping tool that has ever existed. Short hop, I meant. Short hop, button, short hop, CD, Kyo, jump, crouching C. It's a better dive kick than dive kick. It's so OD that you can combo into itself. A lot of people like to say the gameplay is amazing, which it is. So let me explain the cycle. The cycle of someone picking up King of Fighters. It starts with 1, play King of Fighters. We need more people to play King of Fighters. It's a new game, a new start, so on and so forth. Play King of Fighters. Step 1. Step 2, the person buys the game. Step 3, the person goes into training mode. Whether or not it's hard or not, right? Whether or not they gotta learn 3 characters, which is quite possibly the stupidest thing I've ever heard, especially if you ever played Marvel, DBFZ, Marvel, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Marvel, a King of Fighters before, another King of Fighters before, another King of Fighters before, Marvel, DBFZ, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. If you have ever played half the games out there, so we're not gonna give you that one. I refuse to give you that one. Learning a few characters, you're crazy, all right? So they're in training mode, learning characters. They finally learn combos. They learn the one touches. Their execution is OD. Oh, hold up. The original gamers. I know because I pick Iori. Iori 1 or Iori 2? Kyo 1, 2, 3, or 4? Ash or Psyche? Which one of the clone characters that all play kind of the same? Oh, Andy. You could pick Andy? Oh, Andy, Robert, Terry, K-Dash, Iori? Which Shoto? Ryo? Which Shoto? That's like saying you couldn't play Street Fighter, versus Street Fighter game because learning 3 characters when Ryu, Ken, and Akuma exist. You could literally just learn the same character 3 times, right? But again, okay, so they've got their combos down. This is where it gets bad. I think that was step 4. They go into the online metaverse. You ready? You ready for this one? And in this, so now this is like a subcategory because one of 3 things happen. 1, they get jump CD'd on 34 times in 1 round before they quit. 2, they play, get better to the point where there's no one left to play, and they quit. 3, matchmaking says, don't play my game, or here's Mexico 34 times in 17 frames of lag, and they quit. Actually, here's the 4th one. I'm about to tell you the 4th one, right? Because this one has to do with me. No one supported the game. even when you did. Funny how, going back to what I was saying with people used to, you know, rag on me trying to learn King of Fighters. Why am I one of the only people actually out there supporting the game? I'm one of the only, me, the Marvel player. Why am I one of the only people in existence that still supports the game? So yeah, going back to this guy's comment, right? That's why I have it highlighted. We don't want to play King of Fighters. We actually do, but you have to stop lying. You as a scene, you have to stop lying. Why don't you tell the truth? Yes, play our game, but nobody plays it. Yes, play our game, but it's as BS as your other games. Not as BS, because again, there are many answers to short hop and so on and so forth. And wake up grabbing being invincible. We're not gonna talk about that one because that one's kind of stupid. Why don't you tell the truth? Again, always, always, always. I ask people, if what I'm saying is wrong, let me know. If you think opposite, let me know. If you agree, let me know. This will be posted on YouTube, right? So, the only thing that's stopping me from playing the game is other people not playing the game. There's no one to play.